Hey, how's it going? It's Sam Frost here from Easy PPC Tutorials, and in today's video, I am going to show you how to set up responsive search ads in Google Ads. If you haven't yet done so, please like this video and also hit the subscribe button. I've got tons more PPC tutorials to come, but for now, let's jump in and look at how you go about this responsive search ad setup process. So what we're going to do is we're going to start and go to a campaign. So we have to go into a search campaign to set this up. So we're going to open up this campaign here. I've got my testing account set up that has all sorts of things happening, but we've got the search campaign. We're opening up the ad group and we're going to go to the ads and extensions. And this is what you should see here, the option to set up responsive search ads. So these are my standard or expanded text ads. You can see the ad type here, but here we have the option to set up a responsive search ad. Now, in case you're not familiar, the real difference between a normal search ad or these expanded text ads as they're called and a responsive search ad is in the way that Google sort of works with and presents the information you give it. So with an expanded text ad like this, I specify headline 1, headline 2, and headline 3, and I specify description 1 and description 2, as well as obviously the display URL and final URL. And what happens is Google basically shows everything in the order I specify it. So they might not always show description 2, for example, but they show the ad. So that they show the ad in the format I've specified it. With a responsive search ad, things work really differently. You specify a bunch of headlines, then you specify a bunch of descriptions, and Google will combine those headline options and those description options together. So with one ad, you've got a whole lot of possible sort of combinations of headlines and descriptions, and that's how the responsive search ad systems work. So all you have to do is hit this option here or come to the blue button here and click to set up a responsive search ad. And what you'll see is this particular piece here. So quite a bit different to the normal ad setup interface. Some things are the same. So obviously final URL is where you want to send the traffic. Display URL is something you can personalize to make the ad URL seem more appealing. But then what you've got is this piece here, headlines and descriptions. And really you work through it in a very simple fashion. All you do is you add headline options in here and you add description options in here. And you can add multiple headlines and you can add multiple descriptions. And in fact, you have to add a certain number to really get going. So at the moment, this ad strength is incomplete. Ad strength is just a sort of guideline of how well set up your responsive search ad is. So until I add 5 headlines, I'll get an incomplete score. And then Google will look at the descriptions and the headlines. And if they're not very good in terms of uniqueness, Google will tell me that. So it will say, hey, make your headlines more unique or make your descriptions more unique. So what you want to do is basically add as many unique headlines and as many unique descriptions as possible in here so that you get a strong score. I think the top score you can get is excellent. I'm not going to go through the process of typing it all out now, but really you want to work on this so that as you go around this light blue circle turns to dark blue, and eventually you can fill it up completely. And then you would go through and save your ad. Now, a couple of things to bear in mind. First, when you're doing responsive search ads, don't lose sight of the best practice of creating ads where the ad copy mentions your keywords that people are likely to search and calls out, benefits that speak to your audience's needs and problems. So don't throw good ad copywriting out the window just because of the novelty of using a responsive search ad. And the other thing you must bear in mind is that with responsive search ads, the assets you add, the assets being the headlines and the descriptions, they can be shown in any order. So however Google wants to show it, they can show it. And what this can mean is that if you set up a bunch of headlines that maybe don't make sense unless you have them in a particular order, the same goes with the descriptions. You shouldn't be using responsive search ads in that case. If you need headline 1 to show and then you need a specific headline 2 for your ad copy to make sense, don't use responsive search ads. Use expanded text ads instead. Responsive search ads gives Google quite a bit of leeway. You are literally saying, hey, any of these things here that are headlines, I approve. Any of these things here that are descriptions, I approve. You combine them together. You try and find combinations that work well. And the final thing to bear in mind is that responsive search ads don't always perform better than normal search ads either. And some accounts I've worked on, they've performed better, and some accounts I've worked on, they've performed worse. Now, one of the things you'll notice if you've had the misfortune of having a Google Ads support rep call you is they tend to push responsive search ads pretty hard. Same in the recommendations section of Google Ads accounts. They'll always pop up with, you should try responsive search ads. It's part of Google's trend towards trying to automate more of the platform. Now, I think you should test them. I definitely do, unless you've got a really good reason not to. The best reason being that you really need tight control of your ad copy. But if you don't have that requirement, do test responsive search ads. I think it's worth seeing if they perform better for your business than a normal expanded text ad. So that's how you go about setting up responsive search ads. In another video, I'll show you how to look at which combinations work the best. But for now, thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. If you need any help, drop a comment. Otherwise, I will see you on the next video. Goodbye.